Good morning, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us at 7. I'm Tracey McCain.
I'm Caitlin Nuclo. You're watching Eyewitness News here on the Wax. We appreciate that. Let's say hello to meteorologist Joel Gilardi because we have a lot to talk about in the weather department. A first alert for you for 2 of them, right?
Yeah, back to back.
Wow.
So winter.
For good reason. Yeah.
Here it is.
Yeah, I should have worn my yellow dress since you guys are going with gray skies today.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
This just, we didn't even plan it.
See, look
Just
at that.
happened.
You come back from being sick and you guys are instantly in sync.
We're sick at the same time.
We are. we
Well, you
spend a
kind
lot
of work
time
in close
together.
proximities, you know. So, all right, let's talk about our upcoming system because it is going to be bringing some wild weather here. So the inflatables, they need to be deflated by tonight. So don't have it, all inflated through the morning for tomorrow because we might see, I don't know, Frosty go flying down the road. With the kind of wind that's coming our way, we got rain and snow in the morning to contend with. First alert weather day for some slick spots. We got the wind in the afternoon too. It's getting in stronger. We have snow squalls. Then we have feels like temperatures, single digits and teens for Friday. Oh boy, lots to look forward to, right? Winds are locks. Right now it's 23 degrees, my favorite number. It is cold out there once again. The past several mornings, the way you dressed yesterday is the way you need to dress for today. We got teens and low 20s, hour by hour indicating those temperatures this afternoon. Climbing into the middle 30s, probably for the Goshen area and Litchfield. And then you get some low 40s in the valley, typical, a little bit higher up in elevation. You're a little bit cooler, and elevation is going to play a key role as to how much snow we see across the state of Connecticut. So if you're up a few hundred feet, you have a better chance. You get higher than that, your amounts will go up. We'll get into snowfall potential, talk about when those winds are really going to crank, and if there are any improvements in our forecast by the weekend. I'll see you here in about 10 minutes. Caitlin?
All right, thanks, Jill. It's 7:03 on the dot. If you're heading out the door, following this first alert here for you in New Britain. Route 72 eastbound, the westbound lane also affected here this morning. That just popped up, but this is between exits 4 and 2. The left lane on the eastbound side is closed, and they've just closed the left lane right across here on the westbound side. That's due to this earlier pickup truck involved crash, went right through the guardrail into the median there. So we're loading it up onto the tow truck, and hopefully this will clear within the next few minutes. However, no other crashes across the state. We are dealing with some delays, very typical, especially through the capital city region, 91 north and southbound. You can see southbound lane merging onto 84. Things moving along nicely, though, in Middletown along Route 9 as they are in Meriden along 691 east and westbound. And let's get to your drive times if you're heading out the door here this morning. Hour-and-a-half ride, New Haven to the George Washington Bridge on 95 southbound, rest of the state moving along. I'm Caitlin Francis with your Connecticut Chevy First Alert traffic report driven by your Connecticut Chevy dealers.
Happening right now in New Haven, police are investigating yet another deadly shooting of a teenager. And response to this tragedy has prompted a call to action.
Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Marcy Jones has an update from the New Haven Police Department.
Good morning. Well, this is the second fatal shooting that the city has seen in the last 3 days. Riverside High School is actually adding some grief counselors and other support staff for anybody who may need those services today. Now, police do believe that this is connected to the fatal shooting we saw of a 16-year-old last month. In fact, they believe that the 2 victims were friends. The community is in mourning after 17-year-old boy was gunned down yesterday evening in the area of Shelton Avenue and Huntington Street. Police say multiple 911 calls came in just before 7 Tuesday night. The teen was rushed to the hospital where sadly he did not survive his injuries. Right now, New Haven police are focusing their investigation on a dark-colored vehicle that was spotted driving away from the scene. While no arrests have been made, police believe the shooting is connected to the fatal shooting of a 16-year-old back on November 22nd. The recent loss of life has prompted strong reactions from New Haven residents.
We've been trying to see what we can do about these situations and incidents like this because we're losing all our children. I don't care how bad they say the kid is. Nobody needs to be killing nobody.
The name of the victim has not yet publicly been released, and that's to give loved ones and family members a little bit more time. In New Haven, Marcy Jones, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Right, some news from breaking overnight. We're working to learn what started a house fire in Burlington. We've learned those crews arrived just before 11:30 and found flames shooting out of the back of the home. Fortunately, everyone got out safely and crews were able to put the flames out.
Hartford police are releasing some new video this morning after an officer shot a man over the weekend. We do want to warn you that the video from the dash cam is disturbing. The Inspector General's office says Officer Gabriel Arruda fired 2 shots at Alexander Garay after he ignored police commands. They also say that he had a loaded gun on him. He's in critical condition right now in the hospital. Hartford police tell us he's facing multiple charges, and the Inspector General will decide if the officer was justified for firing his weapon.
A wild story out of Tolland this morning. A man is out on bond accused of streaking in the middle of a family restaurant. It happened at Papa T's family restaurant on Friday. Police say the man on your screen, Andrew Kinghorn, went into the restaurant's bathroom and came out fully naked. We're told many children were inside the restaurant at the time, and police eventually arrested him. He's now facing multiple charges. A mother in Bloomfield is speaking exclusively to Channel 3 after her son died during a football practice last week.
Stacey Ann Haylett says she got the heartbreaking phone call about her son, Jakai. He had collapsed about 30 minutes after he left the house. After rushing to the field, she found paramedics surrounding her son and says she knelt by his side.
Well, now she is calling for changes that would require more physical tests among student athletes.
I definitely think that these kids should be getting, like, EKGs. Not only if they have a problem, I feel like it should be a part of the physical requirement. Just had his physical in October, and everything was fine.
I'm so sad for that mom. Well, he played football for the Bloomfield Junior Warhawks, a Pop Warner football team that has players get physicals every 2 years. His exact cause of death has not yet been released.
Well, new this morning, a funeral will be held for Hartford's city clerk. Noel McGregor Jr. was killed in a hit and run.
This morning, a procession will travel to Artist Collective, where the visitation will be held from 9 to 11. Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Olivia Schuler has details on the service.
The procession will begin at 8:30 at the corner of Albany Avenue and Main Street. After a visitation at Artist Collective, there will be a celebration of life at 11. Sadly, McGregor was hit by a car in Colchester back in October. Weeks later, he died from his injuries in the hospital. This morning, the driver still hasn't been tracked down. McGregor's family remembers him as a person devoted to his community. In fact, he was a retired Hartford police detective. Hartford has always been home. He had served his church, was chairman of Hartford's Democratic Town Committee, a city council member, and was committed to the betterment of the capital city. This morning, his niece proudly remembers his successful life lived.
This is someone whose legacy is going to live on forever. It's a sad time, but I think what brings comfort to all of us is the life that he lived. And this is someone that we look up to.
Well, in Groton this morning, the town council is proposing new penalties for people who take part in street takeovers. Remember, that's where groups of ATV and motorcycle riders take over the road at one time.
This is a big problem. It was over the summer. If the new ordinance passes, police could impound those vehicles and charge the people riding them. Fines could start at about $1,000 and go up to $2,000 by the third offense.
It would also apply to people riding ATVs, motorcycles, and dirt bikes as well. And this could happen on either public roads or on private property. There's some disagreement in town on whether this new ordinance would be effective.
It really does give a little bit more leverage for us as a police department to enforce these laws.
Penalties ain't going to do much, but because people still going to go out and do what they want to do.
Well, the council will likely vote on this new measure in the new year.
Well, looking ahead to a great event today in Willimantic, the Covenant Soup Kitchen is hosting a fundraiser to collect donations.
Yeah, you may remember we told you about a refrigerator at the facility that broke on Thanksgiving. It left meat, milk, other dairy products to spoil overnight.
Yeah, so they could really use your help replacing all of that food they lost. You can drop off donations at the Napa Auto Parts on Boston Post Road between 5 and 8 tonight. Hey, Jill.
Hey, what we're going to be tracking is a weak little winter storm. We won't fully call it a winter storm here, but some areas could get up to that criteria where you see the pink. So there are alerts already out there. You can access any one of these through the First Alert weather app. Just to our north right now, winter weather advisory for tomorrow. There could be an extension, or we could be included, the northwest and northeast corner of the state. So we'll wait for the Weather Service to decide on that. We do have already a wind advisory in effect for tomorrow for all of our southernmost counties. The wind is going to be howling across the state. But today it's cold to start. We will walk you through that forecast hour by hour. First Alert Futurecast showing those clouds thickening up, temperatures warming into the 30s. And it looks like the commutes should be fine through the early evening. But then we'll start to see that precipitation breaking out at night. So talking more about the timing, the type, the amounts, the wind, you name it. I'll be back here shortly with more.